Okay, I'm getting my chicken coop ready for the chicks to come out. So the first thing I'm gonna do, when I open this door, I don't want them bolting out. So I'm gonna put this piece of OSB right here at the doorway. And I'm gonna fasten it up just a very cheap way where I can remove it and get in and out easily. And my dad used this a lot. He grew up in the Depression, so I guess that is where they learned it. They learned to be frugal. So that is what we're going to use right now. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, I know the light isn't great in here, so I hope you can see this. All right, so I'm getting my height. I'm going to put the nail right on top of this board and drive it in. Now I'm using a 12 or a 16 penny nail, so one of the two will work best. So we drive that in about halfway. Do the other side the same. Now, here's the trick of it. You just bend the nail over. It's going to fit right there. Now, with a pair of pliers, we're going to loosen that nail just a little bit. Wiggle it back and forth where it'll move. Same way with this one. Now what you do, after it's loosened, you should be able to just pull it with your fingers. It's going to be a little harder at first. And move your board. Put it back, push those down. Like I said, you need to work on that a little bit, where it'll move. Just push it down. Secure. It is a cheap way to do it, and I know I am cheap, but hey, I had two nails. I didn't have any hasp or any other kind of lock, so. All right, I've got my waterer and my feeder ready. Washed it out, it's an older one. Now on top here, another frugal idea, because the hole on the top of these feeders that allows you to put the feed in, the hole in the top of the feeder, the age birds that I've got, about 6 weeks old, you can get up on top, fall down in there and get hung up and get caught. So for the next couple of weeks, I've got an old sandwich container lid. I cut some slits into it, and I can put it right over, and I can open that up, pour feed in there, but they're not going to get down in there, at least not easily. Fastens together, I'll fill that up with feed. They can eat as they will. I've got a galvanized water, and I got the galvanized water at first because I thought, well, it's steel, it's going to hold up. And it does for the most part. This one that we've had for 8 years or more. The trouble with the galvanized feeders, if you're wanting to use vinegar in your water, you do not need a galvanized feeder. You need a plastic waterer. You need a plastic waterer if you're going to use vinegar in it, because it will rust this in a hurry. The other drawback about metal is it can get bent up, banged around where it won't work, and eventually it's going to rust. The plastic I've found will break down in UV light after a few years. If you hit them or bump them, they can become very brittle and crack if they've been outside for very long. Now these are going to be inside, so it's not going to matter, but there's pros or cons to plastic or metal, anything you buy for your animals. All right, the next thing we're going to do, spread out a little bedding. I just need it in one big pile, and then I'm going to spread it around. Now I've got a really sophisticated spreader to do this with. It's my boot. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Alright, so we've got it all spread out here. Now, the next thing is these two cables. Cable 2, actually that's a rope. This is what I'm going to hang my feeder on and my water on. So I'm going to hang those now. The reason we hang them, of course, is to keep them from scratching in it and scratching the feed out, and also to keep as much poop out of it as we can. We'll hold like that. I think that will be fine. I've got 3 roost poles here. And I showed you in a video earlier how they went down and fastened. But I think I'm just going to put one of these up there right now. I've got 10 chicks, and that will be fine for now. I'm going to keep these other 2 just over here out of the way. I'm going to hang it right here in these joist hangers. Hold it in place, drop it down there. All right, and I've got that about 16 to 18 inches off the ground. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but all right, now we are ready for the 6-week-old chicks to come in here. Now the temperatures show it's going to be the lowest temperature in the next week. Shows it's going to be 41 degrees. They should be fine. The next few days are just going to be down into the mid-50s, and they've already dealt with that. So we're going to move them out here today, and then we're going to move our chicks that we've had less than a week out into the brooding pen, which is out on our sunroom and out of the house. And I know Kathy will be glad of that. All right, now we're going to fill the water up. And the way I do that with it hanging, because it's cam lock, I've got a block. You raise it off the ground, take all the slack out of that rope. Pull that off. And fill it up with water. Now we're going to fill the feeder. Take our little makeshift lid off here. Put it in this little container so we can transport it a little easier. Put it in this little container so we can. That's about all I want in there right now. Put our little lid back on. All right, next thing is move the 6-week-old chicks. All right, this being a new brooder, I never did get the lid made for it like I should have. And this is my makeshift lid. Yeah, I know, it's pretty terrible, but it works for the most part. But it's time for them to move, and then maybe we can make a new lid for our new chicks we're putting in there. All right, let's get them moved. Another 5 to go. count your blessings every day, and I believe you will find you are blessed well beyond measure. I know that I am. Bye.